what if true courage comes from not caring? Not caring if you're disliked, not caring if you're liked, but being your authentic self that you were put here to be. Living for somebody's approval sacrifices your authenticity as a person. You start turning yourself into what you think other people want, not what you want, not who you really are. But the truth is, no matter what you do, somebody's always going to be there to dislike you. I'm sorry to say it, but that's how it is. No matter what, there's always going to be one person out there who doesn't like you. So, for example, say you follow one of the main trends. Like, say you get a Stanley Cup, you have your Labubu on your bag. Side note, I hate Labubus, bro. It's so stupid. And I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. But you're following all the main trends that are going on right now, right? You're going to be called a sheep. You're going to be called embarrassing. But you followed what everyone else is doing, you know? You followed what the whole crowd was doing. They thought if you got all this stuff, it'd be like you would be like everybody else, and that's a good thing in most people's eyes. To be like everybody else is to be accepted. But to be accepted for someone that you aren't in reality is nothing short of just cutting your own experience on this earth short. I don't know how else to put that. I really don't know how to put that in like words that make sense outside of my own head. But that's what this channel is about, is me attempting to do so, you know? There's so many thinkers and artists and, existentialists in the past who have been called outcasts. They've been called different because as human nature, if you're different, you are lesser. And that's always been a thought in history. Like in the present, in the future, it's always going to be like that. But it doesn't matter how you are judged, it matters how you live as a person on this earth. It matters if you experience what you are supposed to be here for. If you're living for somebody else, what's the point of life? You should live for yourself. I'm never going to understand what the point of living for somebody else would be for. You should live for yourself because you deserve it, not because anyone else does. You should live because you deserve it. You deserve to experience this earth. And whenever I say living for somebody else, the topic of mental health and depression and stuff like that obviously is going to come up. But that goes hand in hand with what I'm saying. If you are struggling with mental health and you are only living for somebody else, you should try to reevaluate every way that you think and realize that you are so special and so lucky to be living on this earth. There's no point in cutting it short. Cutting your life short 10 times out of 10 is just a waste. Let yourself experience this earth and what it has to offer. And for a lot of people, that seems like not much at all. A lot of people, it seems like there's no hope or light at the future. There is. Sometimes that's hard to see, but there is. You'll always get there with time, and you're going to look back and realize how smart you were to stay and experience that. But that was just a little side rant. Back to what our whole video is about, but you know, just seems like something you should talk about and reevaluate every, couple years in your own life. But that really does lead me into my next question, which is, are you living for yourself or are you living for others? Are you making that choice because you really want to? Because you just really, really want a Labubu, a $40 troll stuffed animal thing on your bag. $40, by the way. Is it really that worth it in your mind? Or is it worth it because society places that worth on it? Are you making your choice because of you or for the approval of others? And you could say, yeah, I'm buying this Labubu because I think it's so funny. I think it's so cute. Are we serious? No, you're not. No, you're not. You're if you saw that Labubu in a store, say no one knew what that was. Nobody knew what the trend was ever. It was never a trend, but you see a $40 doll sitting on a shelf in Walmart. Are you buying that? Probably not. But because society places this pressure on you, you're going to look at that and be like, "Oh, I've seen this everywhere. I'm thinking about buying it." You're going to be more likely to buy it, even if it's subconscious, you know? So you need courage to be loved. Or I said that backwards. You don't need courage to be loved because that should come naturally from others. Naturally, the love should pour in from others. But what you do need courage for is the courage to be able to be disliked by others because that means you are finally living as yourself, your authentic self that you are meant to be. That's about it for the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate you listening to me rant.